Alright guys, so you might recognize this gun. So I've had this gun on my channel before. I built him a high RPS AEG out of this with a BTC. He got a good use out of it. I think he plays like almost every weekend or every other. So he played a lot with it. And the BTC ended up frying apparently. He said smoke started coming out of the gun. And when he plugs it in, it just doesn't do anything. So I just ditched the gearbox and put a V12 in here for him. Now he's out of Arizona, so he plays at VIP in Phoenix. And apparently the rules there are .2s for HPA is 300 FPS, but .2s for AEG is 350. Let that sink in. They only allow .2s. They don't allow 2.5s or 3s. They only allow .2s. But HPA is at a 50 FPS disadvantage with the same BB weight. How does that make any sense? So, in other words, he has to shoot 0.8 joules with a .2, and the AEGs can shoot 1.15 with a .2, which is 350. How is that fair? So, I talked to him, and he said that one of the owners or one of the workers or staff or whatever employees at the field said, yeah, the Speedsoft kids ruined it for everybody, so now the HPA has to shoot 300. Why? Why does HPA have to shoot 50 FPS less than an AEG? Why? Because they shoot quick, okay? You're still shooting 350 FPS, and they only allow .2s. Let that sink in a little bit more. Only .2, so you can't joule creep. There's no such thing as joule creeping at that field unless you're cheating, which is using different weight BBs, which I assume they probably catch you on. So you have to use .2s. .2s with an HPA at 350 is... With an HPA, it's 1.15 joules. With an AEG, it's 1.15 joules. The same BBs equal the same FPS with AEG and HPA. That's a fact. There's no difference there. So I think it's all because, you know, HPA can shoot quick out of the box. There's probably not many people there that run really quick AEGs. So he was running quick AEGs, you know, between 330 and 350 is what I had his AEG set up for. Guess they don't have an issue with it just because HPA, you can put an engine in a gun and get really good trigger response. I guess that's grounds for getting a 50 FPS disadvantage, I guess. Anyways, so this is one of his guns. Now it's HPA. He's sending me a second gun to HPA, too. So he got a Fusion engine, and then he got a V12. So it's got a PTW-style crane stock on here. It's got a big battery compartment on each side, so that's cool. He's got the GMR logo there, or sticker. Standard pistol grip, VFC body. It's the VFC Colt body. Upper and lower. Mark 18 rail. I'm not sure if it's Daniel Defense. I'd assume so. What, a 10-inch shatter barrel? 9.5, 10.5, 10.3, whatever. There's so many different lengths. I don't know what's right. Night Evolution flashlight with a pressure pad. It's actually pretty dang bright. Love those flashlights. Fake pec box. Steel flash hider. Again, metal body. This is, I think, one of the Evike T1s. It's got a spare battery for his flashlight, I think, there, which is pretty cool. It's like attached to his red dot. Ambidextrous charging handle. Just trying to go quick on this, guys. So on the engine, it's got a Pro and hop up. I actually had the Sugru hopped inner barrel for my one of my guns in here, and it shoots so much better. The reason why I did that is because I'm trying to get this video done and get it out. When I get inside, I'm going to pop out the Sugru, and I'm going to Sugru hop his barrel and probably Sugru hop another barrel, because once you open the bag, it dries. So I'm going to Sugru hop multiple barrels at once. But I'm going to Sugru hop the barrel because when I was shooting with the Lone X50 bucking, the BBs were dropping on full auto. And then I put the Sugru hop barrel in here, and the BBs are hopping the same on semi and full auto, which is the goal. So I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of issues, at least with the new V12 systems, and really, honestly, anything over 35 rounds a second, I've been having issues with 2s, 2.5s, any weight BBs, really just hopping BBs on full auto. The Sugru hop and the R hop is like God's blessing on the high rate of fire, because I'm telling you, with high rate of fire, you do not get because basically the bucking, the lip on the inside of the bucking, the little part that touches your BB is bouncing up and down. With this, it is stagnant in the window, and it's a constant hop. And I'm telling you, this thing's shooting 200 feet semi and full auto. Insane. Worlds better than just the Lone X bucking. So Sugru hop is something I really, really recommend with HPA. HPA, it's, oh my gosh, it's so good. So that's what I have in here, and I'm going to take my barrel out and put, you know, mine back into my gun, but I'm going to Sugar hop his barrel. The barrel that he uses is I think it's a 601 or 603, maybe 602 VFC steel barrel, really good barrel, so I'm going to Sugar hop that, and I'm going to modify his bucking to be flat hop, just like I have in this, because on my gun, which I put in this, I have the Pro Win, Lonex 50, flat hopped, with the Sugar hop and a flat hop nub. He's going to have the exact same setup. I'm telling you, this thing shoots so well. For the engine, it is a V12 new system. It's got an IGL. It's an e-bike one, so it's non-colored and it's just black, and it has the e-bike logo. Short trigger pull mod. Low flow red poppet. Stock nozzle that's been bored out to that of about a red nozzle. Banjo fitting. The Polar Star S2 banjo, which is basically a QEV of sorts. It basically saves air. And I think that's it on the internals. It shoots really good. I have it set for 40 rounds a second. So I don't have much air left in this tank, so we're just going to use some of it up. This is a flash mag, like I said, Lonex flash mag, 2.5s. He is going to be using 2s, of course. Honestly, I'd still recommend using 2s when you shoot 350 with a .2 outdoors. High rate of fire, just use 2s. You'll get better feeding, the BBs are cheaper, and you can just hammer on people. Try some full auto here. Again, my tank's about out. Oh my gosh. So much better with the Sugar hop. Okay, I'm right at 80. So I don't know what FPS this is going to shoot. I think I did test this a little bit lower and it did feed. As long as it feeds on semi, he can use it indoor. But I think it's pretty low as it is. 312, 311, 310, 39, 311, 39. So very, very consistent. 38.7, 38.72. Yeah, overhopping a little bit, which is what I prefer. Obviously, trigger response is just second to none on these V12s on closed bolt. It's so consistent. I'm hitting that tree literally every time. Try some full auto. Alright, so just a small update on this. So I actually played with this yesterday, and it ran great. Now, before I played with it, I adjusted the settings, but between making the video and going to play with it, I adjusted the settings, and it feeds a lot better. So, with the flash mags, you might have noticed, sometimes it skips. It would skip, and I'd have to wind it. A lot of that has to do with, well, one, it seems like the Lonex flash mags are not as good as they used to be anymore, but also the dwell needed to be risen a lot. For some reason with this specific gun, the dwell has to be at like 6, really, really high. Normally I have the dwell at 3 max, like 2 or 3, with pretty much all other guns. And I think it's because the nozzle is just tight in the hop up. I'm thinking that's probably it, and so the nozzle's not moving as quick, and so the dwell has to be high. I think that's what we're looking at, the issue we're looking at. But now in its current state, it feeds really, really, really well. And in fact, it's chronoing 38 rounds a second, so it's as close to 40 as I can get it. Now, because I have the dwell so high, the rate of fire actually maxes out. So 38 rounds a second is what it's chronoing, which was the same before when I had chronoed it. It can't go any higher now, so it maxes out at about mid 38 rounds a second, which is good. That's really good. That's close to 40 rounds a second. That's what he wanted. That's what I got him. So overall, pretty great performance. I played with it, you know, and it shot really good, really good. I was shooting really low FPS. I was shooting 270 with a .25, which is about 300 with a .2, because at the IP Phoenix, he has to be at that FPS limit. So I wanted to make sure it would run good. Plus, when I play indoors, I shoot so quick, so I normally just run really low FPS. Normally, most of the time. I don't run hot. I never run over 350, but sometimes I'll run right at 350. Just depends on the gun and the day. But yeah, so it shoots really good. He's going to be happy with it. 70 PSI, shoots 300 smack dab, so 70 PSI, you know, he's good for VIP. I'm actually at 95 PSI right now, and it shoots 350. 345, 350. So there's a huge jump in PSI, but not a huge jump in FPS, which is really weird, because from 70 shooting 300 to 95 only shooting 50 FPS harder, that's really, really weird. I think it just has to do with the dwell, the engine. It is using the low flow poppet, so it's less air going through the system, going out the barrel, rather. So yeah, you know, it is what it is, but he doesn't need to shoot over 350. 350 for outdoor on full auto. Trust me, he's going to have a lot of fun. I brought one of my Vietnam mags out, .2s, and then I have a Banff mid-cap will also test. They're both full. They're maxed out on BBs, because I'm trying to put it to the test. It is Sugar hopped, .2s. I did use 2.5s when I played with it indoors, so I do need to adjust the hop up. Okay, that shoots pretty dang good. We're getting about 200 feet range out of this. Again, right now we're shooting about 345, 350 with the 2. So pretty much full feeding on that one. I got these mags to feed at 50 rounds a second with .2s, so those mags are definitely good, and the system's definitely keeping up. Alright, let's go ahead and shoot the Banff. We got about 190, I think that's how much they hold. And you can just see, like, very, very consistent. I do need to turn the hop up, but it shoots so well. So yeah, you can see there, that through the chrono, that reads 38 rounds a second, you know, 350 with a .2, absolutely perfect for outdoor use. If you have any other questions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.